This is Zaheer, English language and Ielts trainer. I'm going to teach you how to write line graph. If you want to know how to write line graph, this video is for you. And I'll make sure you will be able to write line graph after watching this video. Keep watching. Alright guys, now Ielts writing task 1, we have to write 150 words. First thing which we have to do in Ielts writing task 1, that is we have to paraphrase the topic. It is an introduction. In our introduction, we have to paraphrase the topic. That's what we have to do first. Now, first, the graph below shows. How to paraphrase this line? The graph below shows. This is present simple. We have to use present simple day 2. And the graph, we don't change. It is the topic. It remains the same. The graph below shows, and we will use the word illustrates, or you can also write gives information about, or provides information about, or describes, but I'll use with the word illustrates. The graph illustrates the unemployment rates in the US and Japan. The unemployment rate, I'll paraphrase this, illustrates the percentage. From where did I get this word percentage? From the topic, from the graph. If you see the graph, there is written the percentage of workforce. So that word percentage I got from there. That's why you have to see the graph carefully. You have to pay attention. You have to see everything about the years, about the percentage. And then you have to paraphrase, because you'll get information from the graph. The graph illustrates the percentage of, we have got the word unemployment. I'll use the word joblessness. It is the synonym of this word, joblessness. The percentage of joblessness. In the US and Japan, we have two countries here, US and Japan. So I'll paraphrase it in two different countries. In two different countries. In two different countries. And I will also mention countries' name, that is US and Japan, but in brackets. US and Japan. Right? Put them in brackets. Now we have between March 1993 and March 1999. So I will paraphrase between, so I'll use the word from March 1993 to March 1919. So from March 1993 to March 1999. So I have paraphrased. See once again, the graph illustrates, and you can also write the graph gives information about. So I've used the word illustrates. The unemployment rate, I've used the percentage of joblessness. In the US and Japan, I've used in two different countries, US and Japan in brackets. Between March 1993 and March 1999. So between, I've used the word from March 1993 to March 1999. So I have paraphrased. Now, how to write overview? Keep watching. Actually, here you have to write key features. You just have to summarize what you see here. Don't write any percentage, any number here. Just you have to write key features. Now, try to see what are the key features. See, here we have got years. Here we have got percentage of workforce. This one, green color, represents US, and this one, black one, Japan. This line, Japan, and this line for US. Okay guys, now see what you see here. Try to find the key feature. Try to find what is going up, what is going down, what is the same, what is the main difference. Now see the first key feature. There is much difference, quite significant difference. You can see it is on 7% and it is on 2.5%. So there is much difference. First key feature, that is there is significant difference. between two different countries, right? This is first one. Second key feature, that Japan went up. I mean, Japan's unemployment rate went up. And this is the second key feature. It went down, it came down. US, right? It came down. This is the third key feature. And how about next? Anything else you can see? And in end of the period, both remained same. There is no change, no difference. All right, now we have to write, but in good English. I mean, if you write it is coming down, it is going up, so it will lower your band score. Now see the years. I mean, 1993, it is in past. You have to write in past. I mean, 1998, 1999. So we are going to write it in the past tense. How to start? Whenever you have to write overview, so you have to start this with the word overall. Overall. So first key feature, there is quite significant difference. How would we write it? Overall, the unemployment rate was quite significant, right? Overall, the percentage of unemployment rate was quite significant between two different countries. Between two different countries. I mean, there are two different countries, US and Japan. So I've written the percentage of unemployment rate was quite significant between two different countries. It was quite significant. And the second key feature, one showed downward trend. One went down. Now how to write this one? Write in good English. Now I will write this. One experienced downward trend while now we are going to talk about the second one, so that's why I've written the word while here. And while the second, it went up. How to write in good English? Then you should use while the other experienced upward trend. While other experienced upward trend. Now we have talked about three key features. One, quite significant difference. Second thing, one experienced downward trend. Second experienced upward trend. And now we are going to talk about the fourth key feature, that is, both are the same in end of the period. How to write? I'll use the word however, comma, in end of the period, both remained the same in unemployment rate. Right? So I've written overview here. One thing I talked about, there is quite significant difference. Second thing I talked about, one experienced downward trend. Second, other experienced upward trend. And last, that was both remained same in end of the period. So that is our overview. Alright guys, now body paragraph 1, here we will give detail. So we are going to talk about first one, that is Japan. We will talk about Japan in body paragraph 1 and US in body paragraph 2. I just want to make you understand. I wouldn't count my words, but you don't have to write less than 150 words. I have less space here, so maybe I may go less than that. But I just want to make you understand, learn how to write. Now here we will write in detail in body paragraph 1. So I said that I will talk about Japan first. First, I'll start from here. It is 2.5% in 1993. What happens later? It increased with some fluctuation, and then you can say it reached here almost 5%. Then it declined 0.5%, and then it again increased and reached 5%, and then it remained the same. So we'll write this. I'm starting from here. So the percentage of joblessness. Okay, I've used the word joblessness here. It means unemployment. I don't want to use the word unemployment over and over again. So I've used the synonym, that is joblessness. The percentage of joblessness in Japan was 2.5%. 2.5%, right? In 1993. This is 1993, so it was 2.5% in March 1993. So the percentage of joblessness in Japan was 2.5% in March 1993. Then what happened next? It increased. So I will write increasing gradually with some fluctuation. Actually there is fluctuation, ups and downs. So I'll write increasing gradually with some fluctuation. Increasing gradually with some fluctuation. It reached where? Not on 4.5%, but it is below the 4.5%. So I will use the word reached nearly. I can't write 4.5% because it is not on 4.5%, right? It is not here. It is below this. So that's why I've written the word it reached nearly where? 4.5%. 4.5%. When? 4.5% in March. Which year? Now there is a year 1996. In March 1996. Got it? So it reached here. Now what happened next? It declined 0.5%. This line from here to here, it is 0.5%. So it declined 0.5%. So how to write? So then it decreased 0.5% almost in the same year. Almost in the same year. Yeah, it is almost the same year. Year didn't change. You can see almost in the same year. Now what happened next? Here again, it began to rise. Again, it began to rise. Slightly. It's going slowly. So I've used the word slightly. And what happened? And reached 5%. This is 5%. It reached here. It began to rise slightly, and where it reached? Reached 5%. When? In March 1998. In March 1998. Where it reached? 5%. And then what happened? It didn't change. It remained the same. So how will I write this? It stayed the same till the very end. Right? So I've written first body paragraph, so I don't have any space. So let's read it. The percentage of joblessness in Japan was 2.5% in March 1993. It was 2.5% in March 1990. Year 1993 and percentage 2.5. What happened next? Increasing gradually. It increased. With some fluctuation. There is fluctuation. It went like this. Right? So that's why I've used the word with some fluctuation. It reached nearly 4.5%. It reached nearly 4.5%. You know, this is 4.5%, but it didn't reach on the same line. It didn't hit the same line. It is below the line. So I've used the word, it reached nearly 4.5%. In which year? In 1996. I've written in March 1996. What happened next? Then, it decreased 0.5%. It decreased. I mean, from this line to this line, we have 0.5%. So it decreased 0.5%, almost in the same year. Year is the same, almost in the same year. And then what happened? Again, it began to rise slightly. It began to rise slightly. Once again, it began to rise. It went up and then reached 5% in March 1998. And reached 5%. This is 5%. It reached here when? In 1998. Which year? March 1998. It reached 5%. And then what happened? It stayed the same till the very end. It stayed the same till the very end. I mean, it didn't change. We have finished one body paragraph. Now we'll talk about the second one. And the word which I'm going to use, that is on the other hand. On the other hand. On the other hand, the percentage of joblessness was the highest. Yeah, of course, it was on top, 7%. We will write this now. The percentage of joblessness. The percentage of joblessness in the US was the highest. I've used the word highest, it is superlative degree. High, higher, highest. And remember one thing, we always use the with superlative degree of adjective. So we use the word the highest. Highest, which was how much? 7%, which was 7% when in March 1993. I mean, this is March 1993, so it was 7%. What happened later? I mean, as you can see, it declined. You can see there is some fluctuation. And what happened later? I mean, it reached 5% in the year of 1998. So we are going to write this one. So I'll use the word however. It declined. However, it declined with some ups and downs. With some ups and downs, and reached where? 5%. You can see it's 5%. 5% in March Which year? 5%? 1998. 1998. What happened later? You can see it didn't change. I mean, it remained the same. It remained stabilized. It remained stabilized till March 1999. So it remains stabilized till March 1999. So you can see till 1999 it didn't change, it remained the same. So this is our second body paragraph. Here we have finished. So I hope you have liked my video.